Hey there guys, I'm here with my 2023 The Gathering Charlotte, North Carolina Rumble at the Hilton review and ratings. I got super involved booing the heels and screaming back and forth with them. It was a very fun show. Hope to see you guys in Charlotte next year. On Facebook, go to T-Mark Presents The Gathering and then he should pop up. So then you get all the updates for next year's gathering. The ring announcer for the night was Bill Hazelwood. Starting off, we got Brock Anderson coming out with his dad, Arn Anderson, in his corner. This match was brought to us by Big Time Collectibles. Next up, coming out to the ring, we had Jaron Fulton accompanied by his dad, Bobby Fulton. This was called the Battle for the Next Generation. This was my first time watching Jaron Fulton wrestle live, and I've already seen Brock Anderson before. I can tell Jaron just started, which I already knew, but he's doing pretty good. And a great thing is I've seen a lot of progression with Brock Anderson. This match was a pretty good match. I give this match a solid B. It was short and sweet. Then Bobby Fulton went to go get the chair and use it on Brock, but then next thing you know, who's behind him? Arn Anderson is behind him and takes the chair from him. And then he chases Bobby Fulton off, and then Bobby Fulton had to watch his son, Jaron Fulton, get pinned by Brock Anderson, and he couldn't do anything about it because Arn was in the way with a chair. So yeah, that's how it ended. I like the ending. So I give this match a B. It was pretty short.
Let's go, Brock!
Next up, we had this guy come out. Don't really know his name, but he was clearly from Texas. He had that really southern accent. Not that I don't coming out of South Carolina, but I'm going to get back on topic. I'll say he made his presence known. Everybody knew that he was a heel right when he walked out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not announced. What is this? And then I hear Mike Action Jackson's music. Oh my God, that's harder to say than what it seems. So then, of course, I remembered that on the match card it said Mike Action Jackson will be wrestling. And so this had to be his opponent. I'm always excited to see Mike in the ring, so I knew it was going to be pretty entertaining. I was ready to watch him do that old school all the way around the ring. So the match starts off pretty good. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good match. Then he goes for the old school, which obviously carries the entire match in itself. Here's some pictures of him doing the old school. But I mean, it was a pretty decent match. I'm going to give it a C+. I was kind of debating between a B minor and a B minus and a C+. But I'm going to give it a C+. Wasn't really special, just Mike was very entertaining, considering his age and how that he can still do that old school. Next up, we got the match that going into it, it was personally what I was most excited for. Coming out first, we had Brian Pillman Jr., recently signed with WWE. And I do want to say, after the match, they did confirm, it is confirmed that Brian Pillman Jr. is actually signed with WWE and he will be starting soon. I even talked to him and he said that it should be soon and he's ready and that he's excited and just stuff like that. It was confirmed, and he also confirmed it in the ring. At the end, Kerry lifted his hand and said, "Great job, man. I know you're heading off to the big leagues." And he just said, "Clap him out since we know he's going to the big ballpark," is how he worded it. And I want to say, Kerry is going to be big one day. He's already got the charisma. Right off the bat, they were already doing some very entertaining moves, crazy drop kicks, and just stuff like that. There was a few botches, but there was also some very cool stuff. I'm going to give this match a B+. I was thinking either A- or B+, but I'm giving it a B+. Next up, we had, accompanied by her mother baby doll, coming out to the ring with Samantha Starr. I've already seen her wrestle at one of the other gatherings, so I knew she was a great heel. And I also knew that she says some crazy crap. And right off the bat, she was saying stuff. And of course, that makes for a great heel, but not only that, it is super entertaining. And the thing that she said the craziest stuff to happened to be me. So watch this clip. Next up, coming out to the ring was Savannah Evans, one of my personal favorites. I've been a big fan of her since she started, so I was super excited to see her get an Impact contract. But I've seen her play heel, I've seen her play face, and she's pretty good at both. So I was super excited for this match. While on her way, of course, after I was screaming at Samantha and she told me all that crazy stuff, I was yelling, "Samantha's gonna kill you," and she actually acknowledged me. Here's a video of her pointing at me. And so they are both extremely talented, so I was into it. And so, of course, I started yelling at Baby Doll as well, because she's the manager. Here's a clip of me and Baby Doll screaming back and forth. And so I love the match, and because of the entertainment, I'm going to give it a B. Next up, we got ECW Original versus ECW Original. We got Tommy Dreamer versus C.W. Anderson. I believe this was a pretty good match. I mean, it was a little basic. It wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't anything spectacular. So I'm going to give this match a B-. But the part I liked about this match was the speech at the end. It was very emotional. Tommy Dreamer basically said he's had a bad year, being diagnosed with skin cancer, then losing his mom. So a lot of prayers out for Tommy Dreamer. Next up, we got the Royal Rumble for the Team Art title. And going into this, I just want to say all the fans were on Nate the Great side. Look at this picture. This is how many people that were wearing a Nate the Great shirt. And everybody in this building was chanting, "Nate the Great." Everybody. Starting off the match, we have an indie guy. I can't really remember his name. And then coming in after him, we had Jackie Fulton. I'm pretty sure the guy after Jackie's name was Rue. Then we had Andrew Anderson come out with his girl. I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend, but yes, she came out with him. Then everybody's favorite, Nate the Great, came out with his family. His family was front row. They were all cheering for him. I was right there near them. So yeah, that was great. Just like Nate the Great. Alright, yeah, that was real funny. And then we had this guy come out. I can't remember his name. All I know is it's Samantha Starr's boyfriend. Next up, we had the man himself, Mr. Hughes, coming out. And then we had everybody's second favorite in the match. We had George South. And then another unknown indie wrestler. And then we had Gangrel, and here he goes and spit on me. And so I had all that red stuff all over me for the rest of the day. And then after that, an indie wrestler came out. Then we had the Barbarian. And unfortunately, that indie guy that Kerry thrown out. And then there is Kerry after he won that match. Nate presented him with the title. There he is with the title. Hate seeing Nate lose the title, but I'm pretty sure Nate is retiring, I believe. And you would think the Royal Rumble would be the main event, but it's not. Here comes out the Headbangers. And then coming out to the ring was, in my opinion, one half of the greatest tag team of all time, Ricky Morton. And in also my opinion, the most respected man in wrestling. And you notice he has no Robert Gibson with him. Unfortunately, Robert Gibson had to get a hip surgery, and so he could not be in this match. But he has some more friends. He's got more than just Robert. He's got some old faction called the York Foundation. Before I get into the match, I also was yelling back at Mosh, and it was fun. Just watch.
I look like an idiot. You had a meal.
So yeah, I basically told him he looked like an idiot and that he'll never be as successful as Arn Anderson ever was. But back to the York Foundation, here comes out Tommy Rich, Terry Runnels, and not only that, Mr. Hughes is with them. And basically Ricky said it's going to be Richard Morton versus, what did he go by? Thomas Rich, I think it was. So yeah, basically they teamed up against the Headbangers since Robert couldn't be there. Overall, that match was extremely entertaining. Terry Runnels got thrown across the ring. One headbanger would hold her and then throw her to the other. It was a lot of fun. So obviously, if we were grading this off of entertainment, this would get an A+. It was a lot of fun seeing Tommy Rich get back in the ring. Haven't seen him wrestle in a while. And it's always good to see good old Ricky Morton back in the ring. As expected, the York Foundation come out on top. And it was an extremely fun match. And after the match, I kind of joked around with Mosh and act like I wasn't going to give him a handshake. But of course I gave Mosh a handshake. So there's my Rumble at the Hilton review and ratings. It was a great show. Extremely entertaining. Super excited for next year. As I said a while ago, go on Facebook, type in Team Art Presents The Gathering, get some information about next year. And so I'll see you guys on the next one.